So you know, when you sew two pieces of fabric together to make a seam, like maybe with just a running stitch, this one happens to be machine stitch, but it doesn't matter. You don't always notice the fact, the fold factor in a seam. You know, you turn it out, you turn it around, and you've got a seam sewn. But it's not until you maybe go to press it, or even when you take a seam apart, that you realize that the seam is created by, in some form, a fold. You notice it a little bit more when you do the paper piecing thing, where you fold your fabric around a template, and then the sewing method is really to put the right sides together and stitch it this way with an overcast. But you're more aware of the fold when you do that, because you can actually see it, and it's part of the process. So I've been making some eclipses here by piecing two fabrics together, and the method that I used was really to take these circles and fold them in half, and then you have to kind of make sure you've got them in full halves, then putting them together by sort of putting the sides together, matching up, trying to match these up exactly here, and overcasting them, and then at the end cutting this extra fabric away from the back, so I didn't even have to really well, I could have done that first, but it was just easier to just work like this, as they get sewn together, and then you can cut the extra fabric away from the back. You know, this is the same method that I was using for the houses, and just a way to perhaps have a little more freedom with these shapes, because by folding you can sort of manipulate the size of the roof, and you can actually just fold one element if you want and applique it down, and then cut the extra fabric from the back, or you can fold both of them, and this way you can kind of see what's happening here, and again then just putting the sides together and sewing the seam and cutting the extra apart. So the half circles really give a nice effect. I'm thinking that this could be another way to compose with circles as well. I even tried one by slicing it diagonally. So, and the other thing about this kind of seam is it naturally spreads out and stays down, so you don't really have to baste that like I do on a running stitch seam. The other thing is, when I cut a lot of these apart, after I cut the extra off, I ended up with these, which I think that can be used again by folding, and maybe we can make eyes or leaves or even feathers. I don't know. So nothing is wasted. And of course, you know, you can also do halves. By themselves. And then you can get kind of a sunrise or a moonrise. Sun is back today, just like it was before. So, yeah, I mean, even the smaller ones work. So this is just another way to use these dyed components to make some variations. You know, I just thought, where did I put that? Okay. maybe we can make mushrooms. Again, I'm playing. But the fold factor as a seam and the ability to manipulate these little patches into shapes by folding. Just a concept.